What?
Last time on Final Fantasy XVI. Clive, Jill, and Torgal infiltrated their way into the capital of the Holy Empire, Oriflamme, where their goal was to smash that futher-muckin' Mother Crystal. They were successful, but the being called Ultima intervened to claim Clive as his vessel. It summoned a monstrosity named Typhon to steal our boy. Cid got caught up in the middle and bit the dust. Joshua turns up, faces Ultima, and saves our heroes from his grasp while leaving a trace of his existence behind. Back at the Hideaway, Kupka sent his Dhalmekian army to find and kill Cid for taking away his beloved Benedicta. Out of pure rage, he transforms into Titan and destroys the Hideaway and almost everyone there. With the state of the realms now in chaos, whatever will happen? Now that we're caught up, let's continue onwards with the story.
Come, feel its softness.
Drop all you like, sir.
Damn, the new Assassin's Creed game looks amazing. Oh wait, it's just Clive and Jill. Where are we now? Ah, the Dhalmekian Republic. What are they doing all the way out here?
Might I interest you in a potion, milady? Perhaps a soothing salve to ease the aches of the road?
That you could.
I'm sorry. I wish you well, but may the mothers guide you.
Oof, it's hard making a living on commissions.
Restoratives!
5 years later? Been that long, huh?
It's good to see you, Cid.
Huh? It's pronounced Clive. The two are apparently here on business to set some bearers free. This man gives them some intel that they're being guarded by Kupka's private guards in a building nearby. Everyone knows it's a trap, but our main lad and lass are ready to risk it all. They reach the building where the bearers are being kept and swoop in to save the day. After a few waves of these guards, they unleash a war panther on us. But it might as well have been a house cat. Ah, the bearers. You're welcome, everyone. You okay, dude?
Murderer. All of our friends are dead because of you. Do you hear me? They used us as bait! Bait to lure you out of your stinking hole, all because you couldn't just let things be!
What are you even doing here? We never asked to be saved.
Things haven't been easy, it seems. Not everyone shares the same ideals as Clive and Jill. For these bearers, they're going through tougher times now, being used as bait, facing more oppression from their masters, and even getting killed. And it's a direct consequence of our efforts to free our kind. An important lesson and test as these two forge ahead to achieve their goal of a world where bearers can live on their own terms. No one said it would be easy. Well, let's go home. And quick thing, that yellow mass in the middle is Drake's fang. I always thought it looked like a gooey cheese data.
Yummy.
With Kupka having rampaged the old hideaway, the group has had to relocate to somewhere new.
Rides over, lovebirds, home sweet home.
Nice place you got here. Picking up Cid's legacy has been a challenge for the pair. People around the realm blame them for causing more misery with the destruction of Drake's head. And they don't even know the real reason why Cid and gang want to smash those crystals. If y'all remember, it's to create a place where all people, bearers included, can live and die on their own terms, as equals. That's why Clive lives to fight and why he takes on Cid's name. Well, home sweet home. Okay, guess we should talk to Otto. Man, this place is a huge step up from the last place. The two debrief on the events at Dhalmekia, and this is where we meet the newest member of the Hideaway, Vivian Ninetales. She essentially keeps tabs on what's going on in Valisthea in regards to kingdoms, their movements, and their strategies. The game presents a very easy to follow flow of events on top of a map, which are honestly pretty cool to see in motion. Outside of these, you can also talk to her to see the state of the realm, as the game calls it. You can view connections between all the characters that you've seen shown up in the game so far, and get tabs on the different regions of Valisthea in that moment. To speak my truth, I barely use this feature. She's really just a Tomes 2.0 with different info. Like with Tomes' Library of Knowledge, it's really well done and contains a lot of context-setting info though. For people who love digging into the details, Vivian will surely be a great addition to the wealth of information Tomes provides.
As to the matter of payment for today's lesson, complete a simple errand for me and we shall consider ourselves even. Return this volume to old tomes in the shelves.
Oh, come on! I'm Sid for crying out loud. Why do people keep making me do all these small-ass errands? I suppose it'd be nice to see old Tomes again. Clive has apparently asked Tomes to find out more about those fallen monsters that he saw at Phoenix Gate and Drake's Head. But, alas, there are no books in his possession with anything helpful. Tomes tells us that we should get some rest. Let's go back to our quarters then. We run into Taria on the way. It's revealed that she was able to remove Clive's brand surgically, which means...
Oh, we're a free man again, baby.
Ah, before I forget, a rider was here with a letter from Gav. Otto left it on your desk.
Gav sent a letter, huh? Let's see what he has to say. Dhalmekia is getting ready to move on Twinside, located in the Crystalline Dominion. It's under the control of Sanbreque after King Lesage decided to break a peace treaty to take their mother crystal. This means that the two nations will be busy battling each other, and Hugo will leave us the frick alone. In the next scene, the game digs a little deeper into Clive's internal struggle.
5 long years. If I could only command this power I've been granted, we might have achieved so much more. But each time I reach for it, it's like something is holding me back.
Summoning an icon exacts a price not easily paid. Your body knows this only too well. It's merely trying to save you from yourself.
And every burden I cannot bear falls to you.
Clive is adamant on trying to shoulder the burden of this new world change by himself. He doesn't want anyone else to suffer because of what he perceives as his own shortcomings. I guess even in these past 5 years, Clive still hasn't been able to control Ifrit on command. Jill reminds Clive that they're all still here because Joshua saved them at Drake's Head. Clive pulls out the phoenix feather he caught that night and replays that moment. The two make a toast to no more mother crystals, and to Sid.
Master Clive, a moment if you...
Anyone knock anymore? What is it, Otto?
It's Martha, from the inn. She's gone missing.
Martha? Hey, where are you going? Just tell me. Freaking making me go all the way here? What happened to Martha, Otto? Okay, so here's the scoop. Post Eastpool, the Empire has been putting pressure on the region of Rosaria. In Otto's words...
Ever since Eastpool, the Empire's been tightening its grip round the Duchy's balls. Balls.
Mwah. Poetry. They're finding any excuse to capture or kill bearers, accusing them of conspiring to rebuild Rosaria. Of course, Martha being heavily involved with taking in bearers has most likely caught the attention of the Empire. Hence, she's now gone missing. Well, let's go visit the rest. Upon arriving, we run into one of the Hideaway's curse breakers, which, by the way, are what those at the Hideaway that can fight are called. This particular strapping young lad goes by Cole. According to him, Imperials came here and took away all the bearers. They headed towards Sorrow Eyes Bay, which means the Abbey is probably their destination. Not only that, but one of the locals overheard the soldiers mentioning a culling. Got a bad feeling about this. The two head towards Sorrow Eyes Bay. Hey, it's Martha.
You have to do something. Tell us what happened. What happened? The damn Black Shields, that's what happened.
The who what now? Well, we better hurry. Martha says she's good to walk back to the rest, so Jill and Clive make haste to the Abbey.
To defend all her citizens.
No, wait, I just...
Seems a step too far.
Leave me alone!
Stop! I just want to go to the Abbey. Oh, damn. It looks like we're too late. None of the bearers have been left alive. Perfect timing for these chromeheads to show up. We were looking for some punching bags right about now. After getting acquainted with the Black Shields, Clive and Jill look around hoping the abbot is still alive. But alas, he and the bearers that tried protecting him have also bit the dust. Unheavily intended. Hang on, one of them is still alive. He tells us that the cullings won't stop as long as the Black Shields keep coming back. He also tells us to let Martha know that what happened was not her fault. Oh, okay, now he's bit the dust. Hey, it's Cole. The three comment on how terrible this whole tragedy was. Jill has gathered the remains of the bearers and wants to spread their ashes in the water to honor them. Cole mentions a good spot next to a drawbridge where we can do that. Clive offers to do the honors, so we gotta go reenact God of War. On the way, we run into our first hunt. Oh boy, I finally get to talk about them. Hunts are more challenging battles that you can discover while walking around areas. You can happen to stumble across one of these fights during just normal exploration. No need to trigger them into existence like with quests. Or, if you remember our cute little Moogle friend Nectar, we can talk to him to get some hints on where exactly to find these hunts. Not all hunt listings are the same though. Some will give you a location along with a picture. Others will give you the location only and some details in the description. Sometimes you don't even get a location and have to figure it out based solely on the description. Whenever you complete a hunt, you're rewarded with gold and renown, which we'll get into in just a bit. This is what the game needed for side content. No hand-holding or linear sequence of events, just your sense of curiosity, a reason to actually scour the game's environments, and a chance to engage more deeply with the game's mechanics. Now, granted, you don't face any truly unique enemies per se. If I remember correctly, you face off against all enemy types playing through the game's story and side quests. The levels of monsters in all the hunts can be high, so some of them will pack a punch. But in terms of variety, you won't be facing off against any monsters that are unique to only the hunts. Still, they're fun fights and will test your fighting skills. And it always feels good searching around an area and triggering that hunt's music and splash screen. What the heck is going on here? Did he just pet his dog in the turtle? What? Well, that was fun. Let's put the ashes of our bear friends to rest.
And now they are truly free.
Why are you here? Scared the bejesus out of me. Let's go back to Martha and tell her everything. We catch her up on the events at the Abbey. Martha blames herself for what happened and explains why that is. She had heard rumors of evil devils donned in black armor killing bears in their sleep months ago. But she thought they were just ghost stories made up to scare people straight. Clive concludes that this must be the work of his mother, who is famous for having an erection for killing bears. Otto has apparently sent a stolus to Martha letting us know that Gav is back at the Hideaway. It's time to say goodbye to Martha and go back home. Actually, hold on. Before we leave, there's something I need to call out. See this plus sign? These are for quests that give you unique rewards. You won't want to miss a single one, as the things you get from completing them are actually quite helpful. So this guy flags us down and tells us a group of chocobos are in trouble. Apparently, they're a flock of vigilantes that fight off bandits attacking people in the area. And there's a white one that leads the group. Interesting. Let's go investigate. Sure enough, we see signs that they're in the area.
Fight.
Oh my god, I get it! We move forward and, yep, there they are. Sure enough, they're being attacked by bandits. Not if we have anything to say about it.
You're safe now.
No, Clive, look at her eye!
Do you know her, boy?
Yeah, Clive, the eye!
That scar. It couldn't be. Ambrosia.
Yes! Finally! Okay, but honestly, the scene is so heartwarming. Clive's chocobo Ambrosia is alive and well.
Is it over? I thought I'd come and see how you were getting on.
God, way to ruin the moment, dude. Well, Ambrosia's got something to say.
What is it, girl?
She wants her master back, I reckon.
You want to come with me?
She wants to tag along with Clive. This touches the heart of the other guy, and he tells us to wait a mo. When he gets back, he presents us with a gift.
Kept you waiting, huh?
This isn't just a touching cutscene. We actually get to ride Ambrosia. You can summon her by holding the R3 button. She'll find you, and you can then mount her by pressing X. This makes traversal a bit quicker, as you can sprint at will with R2. The best feature, though, is the ability to do this.
Right.
Oh, you want a piece too? Yeah! Yeah, so you can attack with Ambrosia, but her kick is as useful as a used napkin. The damage it does is negligible. What? It just gets up like, I think I've had enough for today. Jill even gets her very own Chocobo as well. This has been a sweet little reunion. Let's go meet up with Gav back at the Hideaway. We all meet up in the mess hall to hear what he has to say. So, if y'all remember, Sanbreque took over the Crystalline Dominion, aka Twinside, in an act of conquest to get access to Drake's Tail and freshly unblighted lands. This was a huge deal because there was a mutual peace treaty amongst all the nations giving everyone equal claim to the Mother Crystal there. Like Gav mentioned in his letter, Dhalmekia is moving against Sanbreque on Twinside turf and sending their troops there. They claim it's for the purpose of liberation, but it's likely that they've had their eyes on the Drake's Tail as well. Sanbreque just had the balls to break the treaty first and invade. This means that everyone's focus is at the center of Valisthea, which makes this the perfect time to strike on the next Mother Crystal. With the majority of Dhalmekian's artillery marching towards Twinside, this leaves Drakesfang heavily unguarded. However, Clive chimes in saying that's the exact move Kupka would anticipate. There is a Mother Crystal that nobody would expect to be hit though.
Drake's breath.
Only...
There's a shitload of sea between us and it, and I've never been much of a swimmer.
Clive may have a solution though. An acquaintance of his may be able to help.
My uncle, Byron Rosfield.
He lives in a town called Port Isolde.
It's settled then! What are we waiting for, eh? Huh?
I think you've had a little too much to drink, my friend.
What are we waiting for?
Before we pay Uncle a visit, let's check out a few things around the Hideaway. At this point in the game, we officially unlock hunts and can talk to Nectar to view the hunts board. We also unlock the Patron's Whisper, which is, where you come to collect tokens of appreciation from our supporters? I honestly don't understand what the point of this, feature is. There's something called Renown that you can accumulate going through the story and completing side quests and hunts. And then you can come here to receive rewards. But why? What's the point? You can see some of the rewards for some of the donations, and they're just crafting materials you find out in the overworld, or ability points. There are things like unique accessories you can unlock, but like, why through this system? Is this the game designer's idea of adding content to the game? Because like many of the game's other systems, it's so basic and linear that I don't need to be keeping track of what I'm doing to even access any of the rewards. It's not like I have to complete unique challenges to build renown. Just play the game enough, and eventually, you'll just have enough renown to access rewards. And from my memory, you don't even really get anything special that'll change the game in any significant way. Now's a good time to go over the rest of the crafting system. I went over this briefly in part 1 of this video, but you bring materials that you get playing through the game and present them to Blackthorn to build new weapons or accessories. Here's the thing though, the stats that get affected for weapons are damage and stagger damage, and for defensive items like gloves and belts, it's defense and bonus health. That's it. Weapons and armor don't have any unique movesets, attributes, or properties, so you basically just need to look for the yellow numbers and you know that's the item you'll want to craft. Aside from a different skin, crafting new items doesn't offer any variety to the weapons or armor. Now, in New Game Plus, you can craft stronger, better versions of weapons, accessories, etc. that you've built in your first playthrough. For example, if you've collected 2 of these Favor of the Winds for Gouge, you can create a +1 version that has an even greater boost of this accessory's effect. That's great for accessories, but with weapons, still, the only two things that get improved are damage and stagger damage. This makes the whole system feel incredibly shallow and dissatisfying. You're never really working towards building a specific weapon, gathering specific materials, or saving up money. You could ignore this system entirely and it will have minimal effect on how the game's played. I suppose you get through fights faster with higher damage, but that's it. Take a Dark Souls game for example. There are several weapon types that you can upgrade. At a certain point, you can choose an ascension path to imbue unique attributes like fire, lightning, or even craft boss weapons with unique movesets or even properties. The possibilities are almost endless. In Final Fantasy XVI, it's sword. Stronger sword. Stronger sword. Stronger sword! There's no reason why you'd want to craft something with less damage or defense. At least in a Dark Souls game, you may opt to craft something weaker because it has other attributes to make up for it. But in Final Fantasy XVI, there is no such depth. It really doesn't matter that you get a unique item to create a unique sword from a boss because you'll be replacing it after the next big fight. Before heading out, let's end on a more positive note. There was a side quest before the game's first point of no return where you collect some soil to cultivate better apples. Well, there's a part 2 to that quest line. At the new Hideaway, there's a new and improved plant nursery. Here we talk to someone who lets us know that these fruit are ready for harvest. These apples are none other than the very same cruddy crop that Cid used to enjoy. Apparently, the lady named Martel from the previous side quest was able to save this plant when it was a sapling during the Dhalmekian attack on the old Hideaway. This new crop of apples are named Martel apples in honor of her contributions and legacy. We go around the Hideaway sharing a first batch of apples to the Cursebreakers to thank them for their hard work. Once we complete the side quest, we get rewarded with a batch of apples ourselves. We can't do anything with them, but they're labeled as something called a Curiosity. If we go to our quarters, we can view them on our wall of memories. They're essentially significant trinkets that mark memorable events in the game. You get them from going through the story and completing side quests. I never came back to this wall after the first time I accessed it, but I suppose it's a fun little feature should you remember to come back. Let's go say hello to old Uncle Rosfield. I wonder if he's as much of a bro as Elwyn was. The Rosarian couple passed through their homeland on this nice, dreary day. They left Gav behind in Dhalmekia to keep tabs on Kupka. Clive also does a throwback to something our favorite outlaw once said.
And wasn't it Cid who said that matters such as these are best left to dominance? Especially should one of his beloved opportunities to grow and change present itself.
Clive, my boy, even life's smallest challenges offer the opportunity to grow and to change.
Gah, I miss Cid. Jill takes a moment to bring up her past.
I always knew that I would return one day. Return to Ironhome. You were given the chance to face your past. If I am to continue at your side, I must do the same.
I guess she too has unfinished business relating to the events post-Phoenix Gate. It'll be interesting to see what ghosts haunt our lovely Lady of Ice. For now, we press onwards. We reach a small village and spot more of those black shields that we ran into at the Abbey. They're interrogating people about something. Clive figures it can't be about bears, as this podunk village ain't big enough to hide any. We talk to a handful of folks to get more information. There's someone fighting back against the black shields and causing trouble. We find out that people are calling them firebrands. And with that, we get kicked out by the leader of this village. He yells at us that he is not going to let this village become another Eastpool. Yup, totally understandable. Have a great day. We'll be on our way then. Let's keep going. Perhaps we'll find some answers. So, I think this is a good time to go over Ramuh's abilities. He's one of the only icons with some good ranged options at this point. His iconic feat is Blind Justice. You mark enemies with a reticle and send out balls of lightning. When you press circle, you can trigger them to explode and inflict damage. Thunderstorm sends out bolts of lightning over a single target. If you're close to the target, they'll also get caught in your staff twirl. With Pile Drive, Clive slams his staff into the ground and creates a huge dome of electricity, causing high damage. It's especially good for crowds of enemies. Lightning Rod is a move that generates a target that, whenever it is hit, causes lightning to spark out and damage surrounding enemies. It's my favorite Ramuh ability, and when utilized to its full potential, can be combined with other moves for some creative fun. For instance, you can combine it with Gouge to generate damage from it quicker. Okay, so we take out these Black Knights, and the last remaining one gives us a foreboding message.
The branded you freed from our camps, they await you in Auldhyl.
And then calls us Guardians of the Flame. I bet you that's what those firebrands are actually called. From the sounds of it, what lies beyond those doors can't be good. What nightmares lie ahead?
Death.
Found her.
Oh lord.
Abby?
Annabella's bloodlust for bears is truly despicable. Clearly, there's something not screwed in right in that woman's head. The two keep moving towards Port Isolde.
That'll do, girl.
What? Oh, come on. Why can't I ride Ambrosia? The hell was preventing me from riding through that area? There's another Chocobo right there. Freaking there! Anyways, we eventually make it to Port Isolde, but there's some kind of commotion. I guess it's being guarded by the Empire. We'll need to find a different way in.
My uncle once told me that the nobles had tunnels built, so that they could visit town without having to walk amongst the rabble. We'll find our way into the city there.
Aha! Well, let's go find Uncle Byron. Hello? Anyone home? Alright, let's get this over with.
I've only ever seen one man fight like that. And he's long dead.
Then perhaps it's time you joined him.
Singe his ass, Clive! Damn it, you missed!
Blessing of the Phoenix. It can't be. I was there when you died.
Hold up. It's Kime! And he has a beard now.
So wait.
What? No words for Jill?
We can speak inside.
Sir Wade catches us up on the happenings in Rosaria post-Empire takeover. Ever since the Empire moved in, he and the Guardians of the Flame have been fighting against them in whatever way they can. Alas, they are just a few men, so there's only so much they can do, especially against Annabella's endless acts of violence.
And, since granting the Holy Emperor a new heir, her obsession with bearers only seems to have grown.
Ah, so Sylvester and Annabella have a son. And they did the dirty. They performed the monster mash? They enacted the icon ejaculation. Before we can imagine how they did it, someone barges in saying they spotted some black shields at Bewit Bridge. Wade tells them to get ready to meet them, and Clive and Jill offer to help. We go back towards the No Chocobo zone, where we do indeed see some black shields. We shock their weak asses and wipe them all out. This is sure to stop the Collings for the time being.
Though I doubt my mother will take this loss well. She'll move swiftly to see her minions' ranks replenished.
And then it will all begin again.
Oh, he looks so dejected. Ah, chin up, Kime. Sir Wade delivers a passionate talk, revealing that he and the other Guardians still fight to see Rosalith's former glory restored. Despite everything that's happened, the people of Rosaria remain loyal. When we return to the Guardians' headquarters, we find out that our Uncle Byron has been helping them the whole time. Although, Sir Wade explains that Uncle Byron plays a part in fake supporting the Empire and secretly helps the Guardians to avoid getting his wealth taken away from him and sent to prison. Sir Wade also warns us that it may be difficult to get an audience with him, especially since Clive is known to be dead. I guess we managed to schedule a meeting because we're now waiting inside the Rosfield Manor. Oh, here he comes.
Imagine my surprise when I was told my nephew had come to visit. Clive Rosfield died long ago, and for uttering his name here, you shall pay with your tongue!
Clive, do something! Have you lost your mind?
You would mock me as well?
It is I, Sir Crandall of Camelot.
What we get is actually a really touching scene of two family members reuniting. Uncle Byron's performance is particularly moving.
Curse thee, infectious flax wench. Even in death, must thou plague me still? Very well. I shall open the gates of hell, that thou might see thy charge once more.
Bravo, Uncle. You're still the finest Maddo in the twins.
Oh, Clive, my dear boy, it's really you. You always were fond of that scene from The Saint in the Sanctuary. Never did let me play Sir Crandall. Rutherford, inform the kitchens. There'll be guests. We dine immediately.
But, Uncle...
You can't very well regale me with the tale of your miraculous preservation on an empty stomach. Go on, sit.
After what I assume was a rather enjoyable feast and sharing of tales, the three talk about Annabella and the Callings.
The woman we knew is gone, and a monster sits in her place.
A monster.
That seems to have pinched a nerve in Jill.
All right, if it's a ship you require, a ship you shall have.
Yes! Thank you, Uncle! I love this next scene, so I'm just gonna let it play out.
So you believe us then?
Believe you? Ha! Only a fool would believe even half of the things you claim. But until tonight, only a fool would have believed my nephew still lived. And besides, I have it on good authority that Clive is telling the truth.
Whose authority?
Your own, of course. You've always been a terrible liar.
Is that true?
It's not untrue.
Let's say no more about it, eh? It wouldn't do to linger on my nephew's greatest failing.
Ugh, I love it. The musical callback to that classic Final Fantasy theme, the playful dialogue between the characters, it's a much-needed triumphant and uplifting moment after so much death, depression, and trauma.
But now you're quite the outlaw. Which, if I'm not mistaken, would make me an outlaw's uncle. Right then, who shall we pillage first? Rutherford? Fetch me my cutlass.
Our iconic couple are out enjoying the night breeze and admiring their ticket to the Iron Kingdom. Jill seems to have her mind occupied, though.
Monsters.
She's still shaken up about that, huh?
When I served the Iron Kingdom, I did so because I saw no other choice. Because once they learned that the lash would not move me, they turned it on those who could.
Jill was forced to use her powers to fight for the Ironbloods. It sounds like they used all kinds of nasty tactics like abusing her and even threatening the lives of others around her. But, as she says, in order to cope with the turmoil of being responsible for others' lives, she cut herself off emotionally. Jill perceives this as making her a monster as she stopped caring about herself and other people. She wants to forget, to start living on her own terms, but she feels she needs to confront her past in order to be able to move forward. The two head back to the Hideaway to share all their recent news. We talk with Vivian to get her perspective on Ironholm. She basically just recounts the bad blood between them and Rosaria. When we're finished talking with her, we meet up with Jill to see if she's ready. Clive had an inkling that when Jill talked about coming to terms with her past, that she wasn't talking about destroying Drake's breath. He brings this up and she mentions a man named Imreann, the leader of the Crystalline Orthodox, which is a religion that the Ironblood Kingdom follows. He's the one who used Jill and her icon as a weapon of war. She states that she's going to kill him, that it's what she needs to move forward.
I know that I can do it. if you're there beside me.
Always.
After that touching dedication, we move to Drake's Breath. Arrgh, what a perfect night to destroy a mother crystal. Clive and Jill are hanging out on the poop deck, and our dominant of Shiva reveals a nice technique.
Useful trick. Freezing and thawing the spray to make mist. How did you learn to use your powers like this?
The Masters made me do it. When the Crusaders took to the seas, to keep the fleet's movements from prying eyes.
But I guess it exacts a price to use. Jill is ready to give up everything to rid herself of the ghosts that haunt her. Well, well, it looks like we're here. There we go. Phew. One thing each mother crystal has in common is that they're all a marvel to look at. What a beaut. Alright, let's go.
This path was abandoned after an ether flood. They don't guard it anymore.
The perfect little shortcut.
Shortcut, shortcut, shortcut.
I guess this means we should be on the lookout for creatures and things that have gone akashic. You can see the ether floods swirling around, so it's no surprise when we find wave after wave of enemies that have turned. Eventually, we reach a suspiciously quiet and open area. It's home to none other than an akashic Moar-bol.
Nothing a shield of Rosaria can't handle.
Ha! I love that callback. The fight is nearly identical from the previous Moar-bol fight, but this variant does use some new moves, making it feel a little different. After disposing of the Moar-bol, the two enter into the volcano. We slice our way through until we get to a bridge. I'm sure for someone as hot as Clive, it won't be a problem to just walk past the lava. But Jill wants to show off a little.
Quickly, before it melts!
Come on!
Let's not do that again.
After proving she's a badass, we delve further into the volcano.
What the?
I love rooibos tea. Another one of these? Shouldn't be a problem. Damn it. Damn it! There we go. What? I died? Excuse me, I didn't realize we were playing Street Fighter? Since when are these bosses pulling super combos?
I failed.
This is the first time I actually died in New Game Plus, and it honestly feels great because I feel punished for playing poorly. Remember when I said, as you'll find that you can't necessarily just button mash to rush through fights. Especially on later bosses, you'll need to dedicate some focus. Well, here's evidence of what playing mindlessly will net you. Note to self, do not underestimate my enemies. Once we take care of Fafnir Brûlé, the two take a breather.
Are you hurt?
Just hot.
Yeah, you are. I mean, you want some water from my sack? Okay then, let's keep moving. Once we get to the inner chambers, Jill spots someone she seems to know.
Lady Marley. It's me. Python Bossa. Jill, it can't be.
They find a more private spot to talk. Lady Marley gives Jill an earful for coming back. Jill tells her that she has her reasons for returning and asks where the Patriarch is. I'm guessing the Patriarch is Imreann, the man Jill mentioned to us on that night at Port Isolde. Lady Marley tells us he's at the Comrec.
Comrec.
Another archaic piece of vernacular. The hell is a Comrec? Gotcha. Jill warns Lady Marley that she must leave immediately. Before she could say anything, we hear voices approaching the chambers. Lady Marley leads us through a back door that goes straight to the Comrec. The two ladies bid each other farewell, and Lady Marley promises to live if Jill does the same. On the way there, we get rid of some filthy Ironbloods. When we reach the sanctuary, we get a peek at a typical Friday night in the Crystalline Dominion. Whoa, major drag, dude. Jill finally confronts her tormentor.
Shiva's dominant.
Okay, hold up. Now, this guy sounds an awful lot like Tiamat, Clive, aka Wyvern's, now dead squad leader. Their line deliveries when they say Shiva's dominant are nearly identical.
Shiva's dominant. Shiva's dominant.
Well, anyways, Jill reveals just how depraved he is in some exposition.
For years I followed your orders, fought your wars, all to protect the children you took. And what did you do in return? You put them in chains and you slit their throats!
Damn, not even Jesus would help this guy out. He's a pretty boring villain. We know next to nothing about him besides what Jill's told us, and what we end up seeing is typical cultish leader behavior. I chalk that up to the game being focused on Clive, but still, it would have been nice to at least see some flashbacks of his evil behavior prior to this point. It would also be a perfect excuse to show what happened in more detail to young Jill, because honestly, I can't get enough of the young versions of our main protagonists, and their time on screen was incredibly short-lived. Anyways, Jill does get some time to shine here a bit with her performance. You can really feel her rage and sense her drive for penance and revenge.
And my soul is stained black, though not by ether, but by the evil of men like you, who made me close my heart and drown in darkness when I should have raged against it. This is my penance. I will be your monster no more, nor will I suffer you to create another.
Imreann orders his men to kill us, and we fight back. But there's another force here at work. It's Ultima! What's he doing here? Damn! Party is really heating up! Did someone order delivery? I've got a hot and toasty knuckle sandwich. Oh, it's Shiva. Clive tried to transform into Ifrit to back Jill up, but is still unable to tap into him. The flame humanoid is bringing in lava towards Clive, so Shiva uses what strength she has to keep it at bay. Clive is thankfully able to semi-prime, and so uses this strength to go toe-to-toe with a liquid flame. Okay, but really, not even like a little section where we get to control Shiva? I know this is Clive's game, but we did get to play as the Phoenix before. I don't see what's so hard about letting us throw some snowballs around. Either way, this is another fun boss fight. Liquid Flame has a good variety of moves you'll need to learn and dodge. You'll typically want to use your icon abilities at the end of his combos, as he'll teleport or chain consecutive attacks. During the middle of the fight, it tries again to melt Clive down, but Shiva uses more ice to keep it from spreading. When you whittle down his health a bit, it'll start using animal transformations and speeding up the rate of its attacks to keep you from getting lazy.
Let's try. closer already.
After a fierce battle, we kick its ass. You didn't bring my Diet Coke? You can forget about the tip then. Priming into Shiva has almost completely exhausted Jill. She's determined to complete their mission though. Jill enchants Clive's sword with some icon magic, which I guess is enough to destroy a mother crystal? I thought last time we needed the might of a fully primed icon. I guess it's enough power to get the job done. Clive dedicates the destruction of Drake's breath to Cid.
Are you watching, Cid? You're one step closer to freedom.
Crystal. What did you do to it?
Oh, this guy is still alive.
Oh. We destroyed it.
What? But... Monster! Monster! Do you have any idea what you have done?
I do, Father. I have killed the monster and become an outlaw. May the blessing of the crystals go with you.
Jill finally gets her vengeance and with it lays her monster to rest. But it cost her a lot. As Clive puts it,
And Shiva exacted her price.
She did.
Still, this trip gave Jill closure, allowing her to let go of her past and continue fighting next to Clive. And they took down another mother crystal. I'd say it was worth it. Clive feels sorry though that the burden fell on Jill. This time, because he couldn't prime into Ifrit. We'll continue to see him struggle with the idea that he needs to be a bearer of burden. There's a slight quake inside the volcano. Some rubble falls off, revealing a mural. Hold up, this is just like the one at Phoenix Gate. No time to think about that now, the volcano is collapsing. Just as with Drake's head, the entire crystal slowly dissipates away into the night sky, causing the inhabitants who used to live around it to flee. That was another spicy episode. Join me next time and continue the tale of Clive, Jill, and Torgal. I'll see you on the next Ghost Yawn video. Bye!